Hello and welcome. My name is Jessica with Mabel Set the Table, and today I am making my first recipe video. So what I'm going to be doing is pulling a recipe of something I've never made before, reading the ingredients, reading the instructions, and getting started. So I pulled a recipe for something that seems very daunting to me. I've never made it before, so I wanted to give it a try. This is for homemade marshmallows. No corn syrup in this recipe. And I chose this because I've always been afraid of making marshmallows due to the boiling sugar, and all of the steps just seemed complicated to me. So I figured, what a better time than now? So this recipe calls for 2 tablespoons gelatin. That is 2 envelopes of Knox brand gelatin, 8 tablespoons cold water, 2 cups of granulated sugar, 1/2 cup of cold water, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and that's it. So it's pretty easy. This recipe is from food.com, by the way. For the instructions for this, you dust an 8 or 9-inch square pan with powdered sugar set aside. Leave that for later. In a small bowl, soak the gelatin in 8 tablespoons of cold water set aside. Combine granulated sugar, 1/2 cup of water in a large heavy saucepan. Cook and stir over medium heat until dissolved. Add gelatin and bring to a boil. Remove from heat, pour into a large mixing bowl. Let stand until partially cool. Add salt and vanilla extract. Beat with an electric mixer until soft and doubled in volume, about 10 to 15 minutes. Pour into the prepared pan about 1/2 inch thick. Set to cool until it will not stick to your finger. Cut these into 1.5-inch pieces and roll in powdered sugar. Now there's variation on here. I've toasted coconut can be substituted for the powdered sugar. That seems pretty easy. Now it doesn't tell me what temperature to boil the sugar to, which in past recipes I've looked at has always been to a soft boil stage, but this one doesn't say it, so we're just going to cook it till boiling and see what happens. It also says soak gelatin in 8 tablespoons of cold water and set aside. It doesn't say how long, so we're just going to kind of see how it goes. So I'm going to go ahead, pull the ingredients, get set, and then we'll start on our adventure. All right, so now that we are set, I went ahead, put the recipe on the table here, grabbed out all of our ingredients that we're going to need, and got my lovely assistant here to help me. This is my husband, Andrew.
I'm Andy. Nice to meet you guys. Actually, we probably know most of you. So.
Yeah. He's going to be helping me out with this recipe today. Sometimes we'll be making recipes alone. Sometimes I'm going to have a guest. Sometimes we fail, sometimes we succeed. So we're going to try this out and see what happens today. So this recipe again calls for 2 tablespoons of gelatin or 2 packets. So we have those, and we are going to dissolve them in a 1/2 cup of water. So go ahead.
I can do that.
Mix that with a spoon into that cup of water. While Andy's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and take our saucepan. I'm going to pour in our 2 cups of sugar right into there. I'm going to take in our 1/2 cup of water. I went ahead and measured that out here, pour that in, and then we're going to go ahead and put that on the heat. Andy's going to have the gelatin mixed into the water. We're going to set it aside while this dissolves. When that's fully mixed in, we're going to go ahead and add it into here and then boil. So I'm going to go ahead and move this to the stove.
Are we recording? I think so.
Okay, so we have moved to the stove. We have our 1/2 cup of water and our 2 cups of sugar in this pot here. I'm going to go ahead and mix them together until they are dissolved. While this is dissolving, we have our gelatin setting off to the side, kind of blooming in that 1/2 cup of water. And let's tell you a little bit about what we are doing. So my husband and I are wanting to start our very own glamping resort. And while we go through the process of filling out the paperwork, getting permits, dealing with the county, we are going to be kind of doing the Piercy experience. And so what that is, we live in beautiful Piercy, California on a section of land. And Andrew does construction, land maintenance, different projects around here. I do a lot of cooking. And so we figured, why not put that to use?
Yeah, let's share our lives a little bit. See if we're actually entertaining or not.
Yeah, share our lives.
We think we're pretty fun to hang out with, but that's not really up to us. That's up to everybody else. So.
We hope we are.
And in the beginning, this is mostly going out to friends and family because we want to see more of you guys.
Hi, guys.
And we want you guys to feel welcome and come up and enjoy being in Piercy. And so this is a learning experience for us, and we're excited to share it with you guys and see what happens.
Yeah. So I'm going to make recipes that I've never made before. When people come stay with us, I'm going to go ahead and document the processes, making new recipes,
multiple processes
for our guests and kind of sharing our creations with them. We're going to be starting a blog, which kind of lists the day-to-day activities that we have and that we are doing.
Yeah, all the cool stuff that's going on around the property here.
Yeah, and we'll kind of keep you guys updated on the whole process of starting a glamping resort. That way, if one of you wants to go ahead and start your own glamping resort,
you get to know what we go through.
Yeah, you kind of get a little bird's eye view of what it takes to start that kind of thing. So on Mabel Sets the Table, which is the cooking side of it, it's going to be me cooking up some recipes. On the Piercy Experience, which is mostly going to be Andy, is going to be the day-to-day activities. And then we're going to have our blog, which is combined effort of it. So here we have the sugar and water mixture kind of cooking down.
It's almost dissolved there.
Yep, it's dissolving in there. Once this gets clear, this is when it is fully dissolved. I only know that from making simple syrup, from making cocktails.
So we're basically making a simple syrup right now.
So we're making a simple syrup right now. Not boiling, just clear, fully dissolved. I'm kind of brushing down the sides a little bit here.
Is there any risk of burning that little bit that's like on the side of the pan?
There is, but not exactly at this temperature. Once it gets boiling, there will be more of a risk. But right now, we don't have that.
It seems to be going pretty good so far.
Yeah.
Let's get this pan because it looks like it's not really going.
Yeah. So we will check back in with you when this is fully dissolved, and we're adding in our gelatin.
Pause.
All right. So our sugar mixture is dissolved. As you can see here, it's clear on the spoon. We're going to go ahead and add in our bloomed gelatin to this mixture. Bring it to a boil. Again, doesn't say how hot, how long. It just says bring to a boil. So that's what we're going to do.
Gotta love those good instructions.
So nice, here we go. Mixing in our 2 packets of gelatin mixed with a half a cup of water. Gonna get that all in here. Kind of looks like the stuff.
Kind of looks like boogers, just to be honest with you guys.
I think it looks like the stuff you make fake snow out of.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So we're gonna go ahead and set that aside. I switched utensils so I can kind of scrape down the sides a little bit, get everything mixed in with that that metallic-y metal sound of a spoon scraping the side. So we got the gelatin, the water, sugar mixture in here, and we're just gonna mix it up until it boils.
All right, we're ready to whisk.
Okay, so as you can see, our mixture here is slowly starting to come to a boil. Again, it did not tell us what temperature we wanted it to boil to, so I didn't stick in my candy thermometer. I'm just kind of letting it come to a boil what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this off of here. We're going to throw it in the mixture and start mixing it up. Okay, so now our sugar and gelatin mixture has come to a boil. We're going to go ahead and pour it into our stand mixer as our recipe calls for. It then says, remove from heat, pour into a large mixing bowl, let stand until partially cool, add the salt and vanilla, and then beat in with the mixture. So we're going to leave this kind of to sit until it's partially cool. That gelatin seems to be setting up and getting sticky, which I'm guessing is what you want it to look like. I don't know, never made them before. And so we're going to let that happen. While we were getting this boiling, Andrew went ahead and put our powdered sugar
in here
into our
They don't say
pan.
how much. They say dust it. And it absolutely didn't work.
Yep. It did not stick to the side as we thought it was going to, so we're going to hope for the best. So we're going to let this sit, let it cool a little bit, add the salt and the vanilla extract, and then pour into our pan. Now, what I'm wondering about is I thought this recipe had egg in it, but I guess it doesn't. I read another recipe, and I guess that's where I got that from. So again, just gonna let this set, let it cool just a tiny bit. I'm guessing that's just for handling, and we're gonna whisk it up. So
let's see. It's 3:49. How many minutes do you think we should let this sit for?
Let's let this sit for about 5 minutes, and we'll get back to you.
About 5 minutes.
Okay. All right. We are back. And it's been 5 minutes. This has cooled slightly.
To a nice scorching hot temperature.
Not super cool, but it says partially cool. So we're going to go ahead and add our 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Throw that bad boy in here.
Whoa. Okay.
A little high.
Maybe it'll still taste good.
And then we're going to go ahead and add our 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I'm just using vanilla extract. I'm almost out. As we go on, I'm going to want to get some nicer vanilla.
If we knew what we were doing, we'd put a vanilla bean in there. But
yeah,
this is a crash course.
So there's 1, and there's 2, and I am literally out of vanilla on that one. So we're going to go ahead and start whisking this up, and it says whisk, beat with an electric mixer until soft and doubled in volume, about 10 to 15 minutes. So we're going to go ahead.
Ooh, that smells
close the mixer, lock it in so it doesn't go everywhere, and go ahead and start mixing. I don't want this on too high, I'm guessing, because I don't want it to start flinging boiling hot sugar at me. But I'm going to go ahead and start upping it. Now that is going to start cooling the mixture as it whips air into it. So we're going to let this mix for a few minutes, and we will get back to you.
You didn't push that.
I didn't push that. Okay, so we are mixing this up. We can see there's been some change in it since it was clear in the container. So it's now gaining in volume, definitely getting more marshmallowy colored. I don't know if you can hear me on this, but we are seeing some change. Okay guys, so it has been 10 minutes. Our mixture has cooled. It has doubled in volume, and it definitely looks like a marshmallow mixture now. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that down. I'm checking that we have everything incorporated, and then I'm just going to go ahead and turn it off. So the next step, they say, is to pour into a prepared pan about a 1/2 inch thick. This is definitely cool enough to lift. So Andy again has already prepared the pan. I'm going to open this up.
Ooh, that's going to be a mess waiting to happen.
Sticky.
Okay.
It is smelling wonderful. It smells all vanilla-y and sweet.
Yeah, this is looking pretty good.
Ooh. And going to go ahead and pour this into our prepared pan. So I'm going to go ahead and push the mixer back out of the way. I'm going to go ahead, unplug that there. Bring over our pan, and I'm going to start pouring it in. Now, this could go terribly wrong. Again, I've never made this before. They didn't say how hot to boil it. They didn't say how hot to leave or how long to leave the mixture. So that's all part of the fun in it, right?
We're flying by the seat of our pants here, guys.
If you want
life's about.
to check out a little bit more of what I have done, some things I've created in the past, just see some pictures, you can go ahead and look at my Instagram. That's Mabel Sets the Table. It's brand new, so this is the first recipe I've made for that, but I have some pictures of other things that I have made in the past. Valentine's Day dinners, a little bit of boba, some brownies in there. And as I create create items, different recipes, they will be going onto that page. You'll be able to see and get notifications that there are new videos coming and new recipes being made. So I'm going to spread this out in this pan. Now the sugar did not go up the side, so it might stick.
This could be a disaster.
It might never come out.
Might need a new glassware tray.
But we're spreading this in, getting it, smoothed off relatively well as much as we can. Nothing's perfect. I'm not perfect. He's not perfect. Nothing's perfect. That's part of life, right? It's part of the joys. So we're going to leave this until it cools enough that it doesn't stick to our finger. That might take 3 hours. That might take 5 hours. It's definitely not ready yet. But we will get back to you when it is.
See you then.
All right, so it's been about 20 minutes or so. I'm just going to do a quick test just to see if the marshmallows are set or not. So I'm just going to, boop, nope, not ready yet. Let's set it and forget it.
All right, we're back.
It's been about another 40 minutes. It's very well set in the pan, not going nowhere. You can flip it over and it's not moving. I have touched it in a few places, not super sticky, not coming off on my fingers. It's bouncing back when touched it, but every once in a while I hit a spot where there's a little bit of stick happening. So what I'm going to do, now it's not on the recipe, so maybe I shouldn't do it, but I'm going to sprinkle with a little bit of powdered sugar, which it does say roll in powdered sugar, so I'm guessing you're supposed to. I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit over, and then I'm going to spread that around, and then we're going to cut it. So just sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. Get it kind of everywhere. And I'm going to spread it around.
This is a really narrow knife. Is this good?
Yeah, for cutting. I'm going to get that marshmallow coated over now. When spreading the powdered sugar, nothing's coming off on my hands except for powdered sugar. So that's a good sign. I'm going to just get this everywhere and coated, moved around. Now again, recipe doesn't say this. This is just me going on intuition. Now, again, maybe not what I should be doing.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. I just want to get it fully coated. It does say roll in powdered sugar, so, it wants you to put powdered sugar on it to get the idea. While I'm doing this, I'm going to have Andy put some powdered sugar on a plate that we can, once we cut the marshmallow, roll in the powdered sugar. Now, while we were waiting for this to set up, we started cooking dinner, we chilled out, played with the pop, watched some YouTube videos. Just kind of check things out. So, again, if you want to see more of what we're doing, you could check out my Instagram, which is Mabel Sets the Table. And that shows some pictures there. Andy's going to get his blog up and going, and we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to just tip the rest of this powdered sugar off. I'm going to drop the knife so I don't stab it. Because that wouldn't be good. Powdered sugar everywhere.
Right.
Okay, so this is smooth. It's not sticking to anything. I'm going to coat our knife in some powdered sugar. Well, that doesn't work at all. Just to let you guys know. I'm gonna make some slices in here. It says about 1.5 inches. Now that didn't stick to the knife, so that's a good sign. Right there. I'm gonna just dip it in here. That's about 1.5 inches.
Yeah, not bad. Close
I'm
enough.
gonna just
Close enough for marshmallows.
keep cutting along. For construction, I would say no, but for marshmallows, let's live and let live, right? So just cut along marshmallows. I'm going to cut one more time this way. And then I'm going to turn our pan and cut it some more into squares. I'm going to make square marshmallows. I'm sure you could cut this into different shapes.
Elephant shapes.
If you wanted. Elephants would be perfect. If it's Valentine's Day, cut out some hearts. We were talking while we were cooking dinner how it'd be really cool to make different flavors. Add in some strawberry or orange or lemon, maybe add some cocoa powder and make them chocolate flavored. make our own peeps for Easter. So we're going to have some fun, and we're going to maybe, like, now that we know how to do them, try them out. I'm just kind of releasing from the edge of the pan now, as you can see.
Seems to be working pretty good.
Spreading the knife around. So far, so good. Not a disaster. So I guess the boiling temperature didn't really matter. I guess the setting of the stuff called gelatin didn't really matter. Andy had to leave us for a second. He's cooking dinner. Making some rice to go with dinner. So I'm just loosening these up. I'm gonna get a little spatula and try prying one of these bad boys out. Will you hand me the mini blue spatula?
Yeah.
Sorry.
This one?
Should have been prepared. Yep. So I'm gonna just take my little spatula here. I'm using just a little blue one. I'm gonna put a little bit of powdered sugar on that. Again, doesn't really stick to it, but we're trying. I'm gonna slide it down on the edge of the pan and pry it up. And there we have a marshmallow. Hey now.
Okay, let's eat it.
The powdered sugar at the bottom, maybe next time we would sift it so it's smooth. It is a little crumbly. I don't know if you can see that. It's a little crumbly there on the bottom.
Kind of looks a bit like styrofoam.
Sides are a little...
Like we didn't actually make any of this. It's actually just styrofoam marshmallows in there.
Yeah. Sides are a little sticky, so I am going to take our plate here with powdered sugar on it, and I'm just going to dip that in on each side. Like they said, roll it in powdered sugar. So that's what we're doing. We're going to roll it in the powdered sugar, knock off any extra here. Oh, these smell good. It's feeling good, firm to the touch, nice little bounce and squeeze to it. We're going to make up some hot chocolate, and we're going to drop these in, and we'll let you see. Ooh.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
That's so much better than store-bought.
Yeah. You guys should definitely make these.
They're
very good. Ooh, very nice.
All right, so
turned out pretty good.
There we have it. Marshmallows made from scratch for the first time. Not so scary, not so hard as I thought it was going to be. This is recipe 1 for the books in Mabel Set the Table. I'm Jess.
And I'm Andy. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.